It's always super awkward right at the beginning of a live because nobody's watching yet. Sorry, y'all. I'm eating. I'm trying to do multiple things, okay? But I'm gonna wait because I feel like y'all are gonna come in for this. Y'all need to I don't want to hold this the whole time. I'm gonna wait for some people to get on because y'all gonna want to get into this book. Who Better Than You? The Art of Healthy Arrogance and Dreaming Big by Will Packer. Mm, mm, mm. We are gonna get into it. Okay. Hey, Katie. Yay. Look, you the only one that made it on time. But it's okay. It's going to be me and you. So I'm going to talk about this book. Okay. I'm trying to pull up my notes, y'all. This time I found out how to do clips on Audible. So I also have clips. I hope I don't get like copyright infringement or whatever when I play the clips, but I think they're all under 30 seconds. So I think it should be fine. And hey, Will Packer, because I know Will Packer be Googling himself and this video might show up. Hey, sir, how you doing? When Drea and I used to do the Ready to Love sort of recaps on Instagram Live, sometimes Will Packer would be in the comments. I'm like, sir, what are you doing in here? But yes, I have clips. I have clips. I have clips. I actually, okay, I'm just about to get into it. It's just gonna be us, y'all. I'm just about to get into it. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to read y'all the sort of uh what do you call it? Synopsis, summary, the what it's about thing. And so first of all, it is a New York Times bestseller. And so it says the billion-dollar Hollywood producer Will Packer provides a master mentorship by sharing secrets to success honed from working with the biggest stars in the world. As Kevin Hart says of working with Will Packer, I became a student and learned from the way he was moving. The man helped me grow and gave me the knowledge. Whether you're just starting out or ready to make a major move, Who Better Than You is a wildly entertaining roadmap to being successful in an unpredictable world, featuring behind the scenes Hollywood lessons, empowering guidance, and indispensable encouragement. Okay, and then it goes on to talk about like Will Packer and his like films. If you don't know who Will Packer is, he is the, I guess, producer behind Stomp the Yard, Girls Trip. Um, First, sidebar, okay, because I was in Stomp the Yard, and he talked about Stomp the Yard and making Stomp the Yard in this book. And I remember, hey everybody, hey everybody. Yes, KD, he used to be in them comments. Remember how we used to be like, Mr. Packer, we got ideas. I don't know if you ever heard us say that, but we would always try to pitch our ideas when he came on. But so I was living in Atlanta and there came like a casting call, a major citywide casting call that everybody knew about. And it was like, if you are Greek, wear your letters and come to this specific location to be in this movie. And me and my one of my best friends, Jay, we were like, shoo, we about to go. And then I think you got paid, like, I don't remember what the pay was. But I thought it was gonna be like super easy to spot me in the movie because I was with Jade, who is white. and Jade is a white Delta, second white Delta in Mississippi. So I was like, oh, I'm standing next to Jade. As soon as, like, when you see the movie, if they ever pan the audience, if you see Jade, I'm gonna be right next to her. So I was like, oh, we're gonna be in it. We're gonna see, we're gonna be seen. But we were not seen. I don't know, actually. I think there was like maybe a split second, if I remember correctly, but it wasn't like how I thought it was going to be. But in the book, Will Packer talks about how he had to end up blurring all of the people that wore sorority shirts. And, you know, even though they told us to wear that, because they didn't get clearance on, like, each sorority and fraternity had to get clearance and they didn't get clearance. So he had to like digitally blur out everything. So Stomp the Yard, the scene was like, I want to say it was like that final scene, that final like step show, where it was like that big auditorium crowd, and there was like a stage in the middle, and then there was people right along the edges. Me and Jay were literally right along the edge of the stage. And that's why I thought, I was like, girl, we in this movie. We're in it. Okay, let's go see it because we are in it. Anyway. Let me get into this movie. Lord, let me get into this book. Okay. Now, first of all, the thing I want to tell you is that I have never said this before about a book review. Y'all know that, if you don't know, I do another series called Depression Nest, where I am trying to clear my home of clutter and clear my mind of clutter at the same time. Because of Depression Nest, I have not been buying any more books, even though I love to read actual, tangible, physical books. I have just been listening to audiobooks on Audible. Now, I always give y'all like how the narration was and like if it made it hard to listen to or if it like ruined the story at all. And I am here to tell you for the first time ever that this audiobook, I guarantee you, is better than the book. I didn't read the book, but I know I would not have read the book with the same production value that he put into this audiobook. Okay? You could tell he makes films. You could tell he makes movies because literally there was music, like little boom, boom, boom. There were sound effects. There were scene cues. Like he would build the story and be like, picture it, me walking down the street, da 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 da, and then you hear like a boom, and like you hear the crowd in the background. Like he put production. It wasn't just him because he was the main narrator. It wasn't just him in a studio reading. No, he put some things into this. There was a lot into it. Okay. And so one of the things that made me excited about listening to the audiobook was that I'm trying to see if there's a list in here of all of the when I first picked this book, like when I told y'all about it last month, I remember looking at all the narrators that they had listed, and it was like Kevin Hart, Regina Hall. Oh, here it is. Okay, Will Packer, Regina Hall, Kevin Hart, Carmelo Anthony, Heather Packer, which is his wife, Shayla Cohen, which is his executive assistant, I believe, Steve Harvey, Idris Elba, and Ron Lipkin. Now, I thought when I saw that narrator list, I immediately thought that this book was going to be stories from celebrities telling their stories about, you know, certain things of working with Will Packer and how, stuff like that. I don't know. I just thought it was going to be like the Kevin Hart chapter, the Regina Hall chapter, people that he has worked with and like them giving their sort of 2 cents about Will Packer or maybe like some insightful stories, but it definitely was not that. So it was so funny because he was telling a story about Kevin Hart. He had this major story about Kevin Hart, about how Kevin Hart almost ruined his whole career in the very beginning, his first time working with Kevin, because he had booked a comedy special where he was recording a comedy special during the time when they were also shooting this movie. And I think the movie they were shooting was Think Like a Man? No, it was I can't remember. But it was like super early on in Will Packer's career. And he had to fly out. They had to shoot like on Saturday morning, but he had this comedy special shoot in a different state in New York at Madison Square Garden on Friday night. And so what Kevin Hart did was invited Will Packer and his wife and some friends, like, hey, y'all come with me, basically to ensure that he came back on time for the Saturday morning shoot. But they went out and also went to an after party, and like Will Packer was just talking about his anxieties of getting Kevin Hart back on the plane and get back to Atlanta or wherever they were shooting at. So, anyway, I brought that up to say that during the storytelling, he would be like, and I walk over to Kevin and Kevin says, and then it would be actual Kevin Hart being like, yo, Pat, like it was actually him inserting himself into the story. It was like, it was giving very much script. It was giving very much, they're acting this out. It was giving very much, it wasn't like Will Packer. You know how in a regular audiobook, the narrator has to do like multiple voices. And it gets a little weird sometimes. I specifically can think of Black Cake and how, even though that narrator was an awesome narrator, she had all the accents down and everything, but it was kind of hard for me to get into the mind frame of whenever she was doing the male voices, because she was clearly a woman doing the male voices. She was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, all right. No. So this was actually the people that he was talking about. Like when he was talking about his wife, and he would be like, and my wife said, and it was his wife that would come in and say the part that she said right there. And so I thought that was super cool. And it gave a theatrical value to it, like a added, it just felt like, a movie. It felt like a movie in your ear, which I'm sure is what his whole purpose was. Hold on, y'all, I gotta blow my nose. Okay. Sorry, y'all. So now I'm gonna have red nose for the rest of the thing because I'm Rudolph. Okay, sorry. So I thought that was like super duper interesting and um fun. It made the book enjoyable. I did listen to it on 1.5 only because I, of course, procrastinated and listened to it basically all of yesterday, but I listened to it on 1.5. So it took me like 5 hours to get through it. But I think a normal 1.0 listen is 7 hours. At 1.5, it did not feel rushed. It kind of felt like a normal cadence. And then when I went back to try to listen, like some of the clips are at all of the clips, I'm sorry, all of the clips are at 1.0 and they feel slow to me, maybe because, I listened to 1.5, but let me get into it. Let me just get into like some of the notes. This is going to be a little different because I did not take notes how I usually do, because this book wasn't necessarily like, he gave nuggets of pieces of advice, but it wasn't like step one, how to, da 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 da. It wasn't one of those books. It was basically like him telling his stories. And the stories were all really good. You could tell that he's a great storyteller, like myself. But he was just telling stories about his comeuppance in the film industry and basically just talking about his time at FAMU and like creating this first movie that they had called oh my God, my memory is such trash. It was before Toi. Starts with a C. I'm not even gonna get there. But they had a movie that they made in college at FAMU. Him and his, I believe, roommate or creative partner. And he just talked about everything that he had to go through to like get it shown in theaters around Tallahassee and then get it shown in different states. And then like just basically his never quit attitude about stuff. And that was like one of the major takeaways that I feel like I learned from the book is that Will Packer is definitely more, I guess that's why the book is called like How to Have a Healthy Arrogance or something like that. Because he's definitely more pushy than I would ever be. Y'all know me. I be having an idea. I think my idea is great, but I also have this super deep-seated fear that I'm just not one of those people that the good things happen to. And so it's like that's one of my limiting beliefs that I'm working on in therapy. But hey MJ. But I because of that limiting belief, I don't think that I assert myself or push my ideas forward because I don't know if I'm scared of the success or scared of the failure, but I just think that something is going to go awry. I think that something is going to go wrong. And therefore, I do not push my ideas that hard. Throughout this whole book, Will Packer was, when I say not even knocking on doors, knocking down doors, I'm talking about kicking the doors down, kicking the doors down. Hey, Pla, did I say it right? I think I did. So he was kicking the doors down. He was relentless. I ain't got it. Okay, excellent. I ain't got it. I don't be doing that. And it just really like made me notice, just hearing like all of the things that he was doing, it made me notice that I definitely don't do that. Like I'll put out things quietly. I won't even tell y'all like, oh, I got something about to drop or no, I don't want any like fervor around it. I don't want any like, noise. I want the people that see it to see it. If you know, you know what I'm saying? No, Will Packer was like, hey, I got a movie coming out. And he told everybody he would make flyers. He would knock on the theater's doors. He was talking to managers. He was talking to, he called at the college campus. He called Oprah, like the Sony people, Paramount. He called all of the head exec people and he saved the whole front row of the auditorium when they showed it at FAMU. They rented they reserved the auditorium and he reserved, nobody could sit in the front row just in case Oprah or somebody from Sony or somebody else came. Spoiler alert, none of them came, but it's just a simple fact that he called all of them. I think he called more than once. Just, hey, just reminding you, got this got this film coming out. It's gonna be I would never. I would never. And you know what? Listening to him describe all of the things that he would do to get the word out about his films, it really made me think about, I wonder if this is the difference between men and women in general. You know what I'm saying? That arrogance that men are sort of allowed to have, but when women have it, it's a little off-putting, or it's declared to be off-putting. And it's like, I wonder why we are taught to shrink down in that way. Um, it's like if somebody tells us no, like when somebody told Will Packer no, he did not take it as a no. He was just like, I'm gonna call you back later. We're gonna try this again when you're in a better mood or whatever. But if somebody tells like a woman no, we're kind of like, okay, well, thanks for your time. Not ever gonna talk to you again. And I hate that for us because I mean, I know there's, always exceptions to the rule. And like, there are some women that are out there super grindy and like not willing to take no for an answer and doing whatever it takes. For the most part, the mass majority of, women that I know or deal with, they would try, they would put forth the effort to try. But if somebody said no, I'm not going to go back to them, or they're not going to go back to them. We're going to go to the next person and try there, and then go to the next person and try there. But I'm never going to return back to the person that already said no. Like, but Will Packer did. Like, he did not take no for an answer. And I thought that was super interesting. There's this like little thing in there that says, be arrogant. The highest achieving people have healthy arrogance, superior confidence, not only in themselves and their abilities, but also in their predestined success. You too can unlock this level of confidence. So that's what it is. Really, I think the part that is, that I don't really have is, first of all, superior. Okay. But confidence, not only in themselves and their abilities, which I feel like I do have that part, but also in their predestined success. That's the part I don't have. The predestined success, I'm not sure if I truly believe that. And so therefore, when I hear no, or when something goes wrong, I instantly crumble. And throughout the book, it was just very evident that Will Packer did not have that limiting belief. And so it's very interesting to hear him tell stories with this never quit, never give up attitude. I mean, and it just seemed like it was from birth that he had it. I mean, he told stories about his childhood where he was like the same way. Metaphysically, they say masculine energy tends to go out to seek things, and feminine energy is more about waiting to receive things. They say it's important to have a balance between them. Yes, that's the thing, right? So it's like, I be putting stuff out and then I be like, I mean, why Issa Rae didn't call me it? Like, I don't understand. But I did not call Issa, and I was never gonna call Issa Rae. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know. It's something that was very interesting to me throughout the whole book, because throughout all of his stories and all of his times of being like, here's what I did, here's the people I talked to, here's the doors I knocked on, here's the people that said no, and how eventually I got him to say yes. He said Beyonce said no to Obsessed 5 times. And he just kept going. Can you imagine going back to Beyonce and being like, so I know you said no, but hear me out. And then being like, all right, so I know you said no twice, but hear me out. All right, all right, all right, all right. So I made some changes. So I know you said no 3 times, but hear me out. I would never. What do you mean? I would be so embarrassed. Like, but eventually she said yes. Like, I guess the 6th time was a charm. I don't know. Like, that is just so crazy to me. Like, my brain can't even compute. It's buffering. It's buffering super hard when I think about that. So he has this other part where he says, you have to convince people that your goals are essential and vital. And it is crucial to assure others that your success benefits both you and them. Let me see if one of my clips is applicable to this. You have to get to calling. I know I need to work more and going out to seek the things that I want. I know. I'm really bad at that. I just kind of like have ideas and then I sit on them and then I picture my life if I had done those ideas. And oh, there's a part in the book where I wrote it down. He says, regret of not trying feels worse than failing. And I was like, does it though? Maybe it does. Because you just never know what could have happened. Um, Whereas if you failed, at least you could say, like, I did something, I guess. I think that's one of the reasons why I try things, but then something in me tells me not to give it 100%. Because if I give it 100% and I fail, I'm going to be like devastated. But if I give it 50 and I fail, it's like, oh, I didn't give it my all anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm giving myself an automatic out just in case it fails. I got to stop doing that because it's probably failing because I'm not giving 100%. I'm not putting everything into it. It's such a catch 22. You seem confident, but are you scared of rejection or failing? I know I am at times. Um, So this is something that I'm trying to figure out still. I don't know if I'm scared of success or scared of failure, but in therapy, I have realized that what I'm scared of the most is the pressure to continue being great. So like I feel like if I have one, like for example, I went viral on TikTok in 2023. And for that grammar, I had a grammar video telling people the difference between every day is one word and every day is two words. And 2.4 million people watched that video. And then people started following me, wanting more grammar videos. And at first, like for the next couple of days, I was like, okay, I can do some more grammar videos. But then I was like, I don't want to be the grammar lady on TikTok. Like, that's not what I want to do. And so then I just stopped. I didn't like try to get those people to like my normal content. I was just like, I'm gonna just disappear for a while and let those people forget about me. And then I'm gonna come back with my regular content because I was just too like inundated with the pressure of being the grammar lady on TikTok. And I just didn't want that for myself. So I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to like, for example, if I put out a web series and I put out the first episode, I need the second episode to be better than the first one, or at least be, you know, something different than the first one. Like it has to be a little funnier or a little more dramatic or something. It can't be like the same level. And I put that pressure on myself, and that pressure builds up. And when I feel a lot of pressure, I just give up. I know it sounds so weird, but like when I'm one of those people, like when I get overwhelmed, I get in the bed. I get in the bed. I don't like, oh, okay, we got to work through it. We got to keep going. That's what Will Packer was doing throughout this whole book. I don't do that. When I get overwhelmed, when things seem like too much, I get under the covers. Okay. I might cry a little bit. I might watch some Frasier or something, living single. And I'm just going to chill, enter the vegetative state because my brain is in overdrive and I can't do that to myself. Typecasting is a serious thing, so I understand. Rita Nicole says, me too. I can't push through in the bed. Okay. Because it's just like too much. And I want to, I don't even remember what clips that I saved, but I'm going to play some clips from the book Uh, are y'all listening to me here? Is that doing anything for you? Let me know. Because I need to know where to hold the phone to play the clip. Okay, so y'all listening here. Okay. So, oh, it doesn't tell me. Okay. Let's see what this one is about. You can only care about that so much before you fairly ask, what does this mean for me in my own life? Asking that doesn't make you self-centered, it makes you human. Here's my answer. Whether you're an entrepreneur or an electrical engineer, here's what I'd love for you to take away about attempting to do something daring. You have to understand that the possibility of success should outweigh the fear of failure. And you have to be willing to ignore that fear and put everything into trying to make that success happen. To make that success happen. So that's what we were just talking about, in how ignoring the fear. I don't have that part. That is the sort of the skill that I still need to hone, ignoring the fear and pushing forward. I sit in the fear. I let the fear take over. Play that again, please. Okay. Could y'all hear it good or no? Let me know. I'll play it again. You can only care about that so much before you fairly ask, what does this mean for me in my own life? Asking that doesn't make you self-centered, it makes you human. Here's my answer. Whether you're an entrepreneur or an electrical engineer, here's what I'd love for you to take away about attempting to do something daring. You have to understand that the possibility of success should outweigh the fear of failure. And you have to be willing to ignore that fear and put everything into trying to make that success happen. That was the last word he was about to say. Ignore that fear and put everything into trying to make the success happen. Guys, that right there, like even thinking about doing that makes me nervous. I get like butterflies in my stomach. That makes me so nervous. Why is that? Why do we think that is? But yeah, overall in the book, like there was just this overwhelming sense that Will Packer was not going to give up. Will Packer, even if he got 5 no's from Beyonce, he was gonna call Beyonce again. Like, I think he made it so that like he had a vision for example, for Obsessed. He said at one point that the studio or whoever was, backing the film had saw that Beyonce was on the list of like people who could play that lead character. And they were like, yeah, we got to get Beyonce. And so because he felt like he didn't have another choice, that's why he kept going back to Beyonce. But he wasn't going to give up. Like, he said that Beyonce tried to give him an out, like, don't change the script for me, just go ahead and make your movie, basically. And he was like, no, what's your feedback? I'm gonna change it and we're gonna make it to something that you feel comfortable with. And he did. Like he changed the script and was, he made all the changes so that she felt more comfortable. And then he changed the whole schedule of the shoot of the film because she had a tour that was happening around the same time that they were supposed to be shooting the film. So he said that he made this wild schedule that could accommodate Beyonce, because she had to be in the film. So let me see. Katie says, I don't know if it's possible to ignore the fear. I just do a lot of things scared. Mm-hmm. S. Stormy says, fear of judgment. I don't know if it's fear of judgment. It's like I can't quite pinpoint what the fear is. At least for me, It's like a fear of the pressure being too much, if that makes sense. Like it's a fear of performing well every time. Like I just don't perform well under pressure. Like I have a story. So when I was in high school, I was a cheerleader. We used to go to cheer camp. And this one particular cheer camp we went to, it was like a quick cheer camp. It wasn't our regular like summer camp. It was kind of like a weekend camp thing. And it was in town. I was in Jackson, Mississippi, and it was in town. It was like in Clinton or something like that. It was at one of the colleges in Clinton. And we went and they taught us this dance. And so they taught all the girls this dance, like all the squads that were there. And then they told each squad to pick one person to go to the front and do the dance. Now, when it was all of us, I was killing the dance. I was and then so my squad was like, Tracy, you're killing it. You go, you be our representative. Got up there, mine went completely blank. I stood there like this and cried for the whole song. So you see what I'm saying? That's why when people ask me, why don't you do stand up? I will cry on the stage. I don't think you understand. What the heck footage? Hey, what the heck? Says, I always enjoy your book reviews. Do you have an ebook reader? Just curious. No, I have just been listening on Audible lately. I used to have a Kindle. I used to have a Nook. Ooh, I just aged myself with that one. I used to have a Nook, but I actually decided that I like the actual book, the physical book, or I'm trying to get into the audio books now because I'm trying not to collect more things. So that's why I've been listening on Audible. And thanks for enjoying my book reviews. As Stormy, do you know why you cried? I cried because I messed up. Like I got up there, I think I started it well, and then I forgot. And once I forgot one thing, I was like, oh, I messed it up. So I'm just gonna stand here and cry now because I already effed it up. You understand? Like I got an issue with like perfectionism a lot bit. And so as soon as that first mistake happens, I'll be like, oh God, it's over. It's the same thing with like diets. As soon as you mess up on a diet, you're like, well, I might as well go to Burger King. Cause I've been craving that they got that new you tried that Bacon King yet? That Bacon King good as hell. Hey, for real, that Bacon King good as hell. Add pickles and tomatoes, I'm gonna tell you. Far, far, far. Okay. But as soon as I mess up on a diet, I'm gonna go straight to Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, Popeyes. All of them in the same day. Cause I'll be like, oh well, I messed up. So yeah, I think that's what it was. And then I was so embarrassed that I didn't just keep going because I was like, why did I just stand there and cry? But in the moment, I was just so upset at myself that I messed up because I knew the dance. There was no like reason for me to mess up. So the fact that I messed up was just so overwhelming and just all encompassing for me in my brain to be like, I could just imagine being my squad and being like, go, 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 Tracy, go, Tracy. What, Tracy? Tracy crying? Oh, man. I know they was probably like, Lord, we could have sent Becca up there. Okay, so let me keep going. Sorry, I digress. There's this third thing. It's the work you put in when nobody's watching that makes everyone pay attention later. So yeah, he gets into this part of the book like later on in the chapters, or maybe like in the mid chapters, where he talks about how you only a lot of times you only see the end result of something. Like for example, working out or dieting or whatever, you see this super in shape girl with the perfect body, and then you be like, dang, like, I wish I was shaped like that, or I want to look like her or whatever. But you didn't see all the things, all the steps that she took to make that a reality for herself. And if you did see the things that she did, you might not be willing to go that far because you don't know what she did to get there. Um, he said, no single person on the planet is more deserving of achieving their wildest dreams than you. But it will never happen until you act accordingly in every aspect of your life. It's time for you to start producing your own blockbuster life by first believing that there is no one more worthy of it than you. And that is the belief that you got to have. I don't know. I think that might be where you lose me, Mr. Packer. But I really do wish I had that belief. Like, I really do wish that I was like, oh no, and here's the thing, I am like that in some instances. Like, if somebody says, oh, you're not creative, ho, is you cool? Like, you must not be okay because I'm definitely creative. Like, there's some things you can't argue with me about. And then there's other things that are like, yeah, I'm probably not the best at that, but I wouldn't argue you down. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe that I'm the best at that. But he's saying if it's something that you want to do, then you have to believe that you are worthy of achieving it in order for it to be achieved. So I don't know if you necessarily have to be the best at it, but you have to just know that you can achieve it in order for it to be done. What the heck says, sometimes it's a motivation issue or self sabotage issue. Yes. For me, I think it is both. I think my self sabotage is my motivation, my lack of motivation. I think that is what holds me back. Like, for example, with this YouTube stuff, y'all know I have been like really wanting to like just dive in and just like be a YouTuber. Like, maybe I can make it happen. Like, other people are, this is their job. Like, people are making this work for them. And there is just something in the back of my mind that says, like, this is a job for other people. This is not gonna be something big for you. And so I am kind of like nervous or like timid on just putting my all into it because I don't want that disappointment. I don't want that devastation of another thing like not working out. I just feel like I have just been through the mud so much in my life that I just need for things to just be even keeled from here on out. Like, don't throw me no speed bumps, no surprises, Lord. I done been through it all. I'm tired of trying to be the strongest warrior. Okay. Hey Shannon, but um yes. I think it let me play another clip because I don't know where I'm at in the clips, but let me just play another clip and see if we could talk about that.
But the idea of the possibility of success drove me. What if the movie thing worked out? What if I made a bunch of #1 movies? What if I broke records in Hollywood? The thought of achieving wild triumph made navigating the perils worth the effort. Ask yourself, is the absolute most awful thing in the world that could happen if I fail possible? Yes. Will that worst case scenario happen? Probably not.
Probably not, is what he was about to say. So you hear what he was saying about what did he say? Your wildest. What did he say? Hold on, y'all.
But the idea of the possibility of success drove me. What if the movie thing worked out? What if I made a bunch of #1 movies? What if I broke records in Hollywood? The thought of achieving
wild triumph. The thought of achieving wild triumph. Hey, Edna B. Larkin, what's going on? The thought of achieving a wild triumph, that is wild to me. Like, just hearing him say, like, what if I made a number one movie? First of all, that would never be in my what ifs. And that's the problem. That's the problem right there. I need to be saying, what if I became a really big DIY or decorating YouTuber? What if I was able to help people with depression, you know, get to a better place? What if? What are your what ifs? Put your what ifs in the chat. Oh, we having church now. Oh, we having church now. Put your what ifs in the chat. What are your what ifs? Wild, what you say, y'all? I forgot that quick. Wild triumphs. If you just think pie in the sky, what if you make $1 million on YouTube per month? Oh gosh. What if? Put your what ifs in the chat. I want to see what y'all are like, what y'all think are like your wildest dreams come true. Because what if they can come true? What if it is us holding us back? It's definitely me. I'm definitely holding me back. I have a million excuses. Like when I have a job, I'll be like, oh my God, I can't do a job and YouTube. And then when I don't have a job, I'll be like, oh God, editing is so much. Like it just be one thing or another. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me see. Y'all starting to put y'all what ifs in the chat. Katie said you're already doing those things. I'm not. No, I'm not. You are why I have YouTube Premium. You have that it thing. As a Gen X who came up through Chicago's marketing landscape, you got this. Ah, thanks, Lala James. Thank you. But aren't you doing those things now? Your videos help me so much now. It's so obviously you can. Listen, y'all supposed to be don't be gassing me up, okay? Don't be gassing me up, guys. You're supposed to be putting your what ifs in the chat. You're about you. Thank you, guys. What the heck? Oh no, Edna be lurking. I just prepared a return with a W-2 with 3.3 milli in wages. Federal withholding was 1 million. Were they a YouTuber or they were just like a rich person? Dang, Edna B. What the heck said, what if I lose the weight? What if I'm more consistent on social media? Go further with that. What the heck? Like, what is the dream? What if you become a fill in the blank? I don't know how people seek out partnerships, but that's something you could do with what you're sharing through Depression Nest. You could with BetterHelp, and you could partner with she's still typing. So, Katie, I have reached out to people in season 1, I reached out to a lot of people. Y'all know having a YouTube partnership is on my 2025 bingo card. So I'm hopefully going to do that. But I think you have to have like sponsors like to have a certain amount of viewers before they will sponsor you. And from everything that I've read, it's been around like 15,000, 20,000, like consistent views every time. And y'all know I be getting like 3,000 views on my video. So what if I could become a director at one of the largest philanthropic organizations in the world? What if? What if I finish this script? What if I can make this Black female buddy comedy and it's number one and I make money, but stay humble? because I don't want to be famous like that. Come on. Is it melee? No, it's Melly. Melly. Mm-hmm. Isn't it? Tell me which one. Tell me which one. Okay, Katie is back. And you could partner with a home improvement store with everything you do with DIY things. You're already doing these things. Keep going. Stop thinking about what could or couldn't be. Just keep going. I know. I'm just gonna keep going. You're right. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep doing it. And I'm not gonna give up. Lala said, what if I get my health back? What if my muse becomes my friend again and I write the books that's been haunting me for decades? Melly. Okay. Thanks, Melly, for that clarification. Yes. What if you achieved wild triumphs, as Will Packer said? That is a major thing to think about. How your mentality is holding yourself back. Oh God, I thought that was my mama's phone number. Y'all was gonna have me. Y'all was gonna see something very strange. Okay, let's play another clip. And keep in mind, I don't remember the things that I clipped. So these are like new things for me.
You to never ever celebrate your success. And I'm certainly not telling you not to balance all that hard work with harder play. What I'm telling you is to not be satisfied. Satisfaction sounds like satiation. Being satiated means you're full. You no longer want to eat. You gorged at the buffet. Now you just want to go to sleep and let the carbs do their work. No, don't be that person. Stay hungry. Even as you celebrate your success, be.
Okay, so that whole little clip was about never being satisfied. And again, another thing that I struggle with, because I'll be like, yay, let's take my web series, for example, On Everything. I put out On Everything, and I didn't put out the third episode for like 5 years. And then now that it's out, I'm like, yay, good job. I did it. I just be like, I did it, and then I walk away. Will Packer is saying you can never be satisfied. Like, I just be crossing stuff off of my list of like to-dos, like, yay, I did it. But Will Packer's like, now that I did it, what can I do with it? Where can it go? Where am I taking it? Who else needs to see it? You see what I'm saying? Like, he's never satisfied with just crossing the thing off of his list. There's always further questions and further things that he wants to accomplish off of that one list item. And that's what I got to get through my thick skull. Most of the super high W-2s I see are VPs. Oh, okay. Yeah, they just rich. Lala, I know that feeling. This movie has been in my head for years. Yeah. I just want to let y'all know that Depression Nest was in my head for years. Depression Nest, actually, the theme song came to me in a dream in 2021, I believe. And y'all know I didn't start Depression Nest season 1 until the end of 2023. But I woke up out of that dream and I sang the whole theme song into my phone, and then I went back to sleep. Like, the entire theme song came to me, all the lyrics and the melody, everything. I didn't change anything. Thanks, Edna B. Lurking. She says, I love Depression Nest. Okay, let's play another clip because we about to hit an hour. And I don't want y'all to get bored.
Carbs do their work. No, don't be that person.
Oh, wait.
Stay hungry. Even as you celebrate your success, be looking toward the next success. Vegas will be there. Crank some hood southern rap all the way up and keep grinding hard, just like candy. Side.
So oh wait.
Arabs do their work. No, don't be that person. Stay hungry. Even as you celebrate your success, be looking toward the next success. Vegas will be there. Crank some hood southern rap all the way up and keep grinding hard, just like candy. Sidebar. Stay in the lab. It's the work we put in when no one is watching that makes everybody pay attention later.
Okay. So right there, he had just finished telling a story about how him and Kevin Hart and Ice Cube had put out, what was it called, Ride Along or something like that. And so they had just went on this like tour of speaking engagements and showing up at movies and doing Conan O'Brien and all of this stuff. And then he told Kevin Hart, "Man, we did it, man. We did it. Let's go to Vegas. Let's celebrate. Let's go to Vegas." And Kevin Hart was like, "Man, we need to be focused on what's next or something." I'm paraphrasing, of course. But basically, Kevin Hart was like, "We got more work to do. Like, I'm not, we can go to Vegas anytime. Vegas gonna always be there. Let's do more. Let's figure out what's next. Let's go on to the next thing. We got more money to make." You know what I'm saying? And so that's why he said at the end or in the middle there, he said, "Vegas will always be there." Um, I can't never remember what the last one I played is.
That sounds, you know what? Go ahead and make another me. I owe a lot of my success to a lot of people, Jay-Z explains about the lyric. But ultimately, no one made me. This is the kind of lie that people get told all the time, sometimes in romantic relationships, sometimes in their professional lives, that somehow who they are is a result of other people's investment in them. It's vital to resist that or you risk losing yourself. That lyric reminds me.
So he was talking about a Jay-Z lyric where I guess somebody said they made Hove. And so in the lyric, Jay-Z was like, if you made Hove, make another one or something like that, whatever the lyric was. I'm not sure. But then Will Packer goes on to talk about how a lot of times people will attach themselves to you when you are successful. They will say like, "Oh yeah, I helped Tracy come up with that theme song for Depression Nest. Yeah, it was me and her. We was in the lab." Knowing they had nothing to do with it. And people will like credit themselves for your success. Or they'll be like if you are successful losing weight, or if you finally like stick with going to a gym, but somebody told you about the gym, they'll be like, "See, I'm the reason that you." No, you're not the reason that it was up here. I did it this time, and that's why I am doing well. So it was like this whole section about like, if you credit yourself so bad with making me and by being the person that the reason why I am the way I am, then make another one. And I bet you can't, because they're not me. And it was all me in the first place. That's the whole point of that little clip. So don't let people take credit for your success, basically.
Ultimately, selling yourself is just getting other people to believe what you believe. And there's power in that. That's leadership. Leaders are able to get other people to buy into their vision. But it starts with number one, believing in your own vision. Because if you don't believe in it first, you can't do anything for anybody. You cannot be an effective leader. The point is, it's all sales. I'm still.
So, yes, again, here we are talking about how you have to believe in yourself first. You have to believe that it is in the success of it. And basically, he was talking about how he used to sell something door to door. Cable? No, the newspaper. he used to sell the newspaper door to door. And he was saying how it helped develop his salesman skills because he would have to like get somebody's attention within the first 2 seconds or whatever. And he would always compliment them and or compliment their landscaping at their house or whatever. And he was just talking about how like um, you know, even when you have ideas and you're talking to other people about them, it is still you're selling your idea, you're selling yourself, and you're bigging it up because you have to believe in the idea so much that the pitch sounds um like it already is actual and factual. You know what I'm saying? Even though you could be pitching something that doesn't exist yet, you could pitch it like it already is successful. It already is a thing, you know, that people want to see. You have to, but you have to believe that first in order to pitch somebody else. Like you can't walk in the room and be like, so I got this idea, it might not be great, but let me know what you think, but I don't really like it that much, but I it's okay. Okay, just let me know what you think. Okay, so you can't do that. You got to be like, I have the best idea in the world. But you know what? It's so interesting because in my advertising career, I've had to pitch a lot to clients, and I think because I get nervous when I have to be serious, I'm not a very good serious speaker because I feel like I'm not being myself. So I always try to like break the ice with some kind of joke or some kind of funny thing. I have a panel that I talked on in for a 3% women's advertising conference, which you can look up on YouTube. But when I first came out there, it was a panel of like all creative directors and me, who at the time I was a senior copywriter. I wasn't a creative director. And somebody nominated me for this panel. So I still to this day don't know who nominated me for that panel. But I came out there. These women are serious. These women are executives, basically. And here I go. The first thing I said was, "Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm a senior copywriter at Leo Burnett." And I was like, I just want to tell y'all 2 facts about me to, break the ice and make myself more relatable. And I was like, the first fact is I had on this shirt yesterday. Boom. Everybody chuckled. You know what I'm saying? I was like, cool. I got you. I watch you. Then my second fact is I had on these pants yesterday, and then I stood up and I hit one of these poses. Me hitting this pose became the thumbnail for the video. Me hitting that superwoman pose because I put on the same outfit that I had on the day before, which is actually true. Um, but it's so interesting to me because I know what needs to be done in order to make myself more comfortable, but I don't have like the same sort of like chutzpah when it comes to like pitching my personal ideas. I can pitch my creative ideas, my advertising ideas all day long. Um, when I'm pitching for a client, for example, I was pitching a Marlboro. I worked on Marlboro for a long time when I was at Leo Burnett. I never smoked a day in my life, but I worked on Marlboro. And I would get into the room with all the creative directors. We're pitching our ideas for things for the Marlboro website because, they can't advertise nowhere else. But pitching ideas, and I would be, first thing I say, we open up on Beyonce on a private island. Cause I'm a sell that every time. What they like, Tracy, next idea, just go to the next one. One of these days, y'all gonna open up on Beyonce on a private island because number one, I'm trying to meet Beyonce. Number two, I'm trying to jet off to an island so we can shoot this. So just let me know. But I used to open every pitch with open on Beyonce Sometimes she was giving birth when she was pregnant. I'd be like, Beyonce giving birth on a private island. Keep in mind, this from Marlboro. This don't make no sense. I did not care. So I just need to like take that sort of like vibe and the sort of like no fucks given attitude and like I need to like beat it into my skull for like my personal projects or something. I don't know. Okay, let me catch up on some um for me, I have to be comfortable in what I want slash need. We all have levels of what hungry is, and life has shown me Vegas won't always be there. It's all about knowing what that balance is. Interesting, interesting, la la. What if you think of yourself as your own client? You know, I've tried a lot of different little tools and mechanisms to try to like make myself go harder for myself. And ultimately, my brain calls bullshit on it every single time. I'll be like, all right, so I'm gonna just wake up and I'm gonna tell myself that I love my body. And I'm gonna, eventually I'll love my body. And my brain just be like, girl, you know what you don't like. You see it. You you see it. Old Spice did it. Their ads were so random, but they hit. No, I think when those Old Spice on a horse ads came out, that was every like copywriters and just every creators or creative in advertising's dream to just come up with the most insane shit and have the client buy it. Because most of the time in advertising, you come up with cool stuff and they just say no or somebody internally says no before it even gets to the client. Being a creative in advertising is very depleting. It's very draining. It's very much like your ideas never end up as your own ideas. And I think that's why I needed this time off to like reset creatively and not work and not have people just constantly tell me no and shoot my ideas down because it just you become jaded really fast and you start to not even want to think creatively like super big because you know they're not gonna buy it. So that's why I feel like taking this time off and not working at all and just focusing on my own personal creative endeavors has been super like important for me. um I have outlined a Beyonce movie. Let's hope she likes it when it's written. Yeah, she gonna like it. And guess what? Will Packer said she said no 5 times and he kept coming back. So even if she don't like it at first, just keep changing it. And eventually you could wear her down like Steve Urkel, apparently. I'm wearing you down, baby. What Steve Urkel used to say? I'm a wearing you down. Um, Hey, Zen Life Erin. My alter ego has been 1 year in the making, and my brain cells call BS every time I try to imagine myself as something different. Yeah. It's just like, maybe I'm not giving it enough time. Maybe I'm not like, maybe I need to just keep doing it. I remember one time I had read this article or something where the lady was like, look at yourself butt naked every day in the mirror and tell yourself something that you love. Instead of instantly looking at the things that you hate, look at and tell yourself something that you love about yourself, about your body, and do that every single day. And eventually, you will only see the things that you love. You won't see those things. Those things that you don't like will start to fade away because you're so focused on the things that you love. So I tried that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think I'm giving myself enough time. My brain calls bullshit, and I'll be like, oh, well, that didn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give things enough I don't have enough stick to itiveness, basically. Um, Absolutely. That's low key grape culture, though. How? What? What I say that was grape culture? I don't. I don't be remembering what I said. Okay, y'all, let me see. I think I only got two more clips.
Same hugs. Then it was time to move on. Our minds are engineered to move toward new goals, new accomplishments. Have you noticed that you just feel better when you're moving forward, working toward accomplishing something? Sometimes we have to trick our minds into thinking we're progressing for our own mental health. If you're stuck in a rut, don't stop moving forward. Even if it's just tiny increments of progress, you'll get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, y'all. I took a bite of food while he was talking. Let me play that again.
Same hugs. Then it was time to move on. Our minds are engineered to move toward new goals, new accomplishments. Have you noticed that you just feel better when you're moving forward, working toward accomplishing something? Sometimes we have to trick our minds into thinking we're progressing for our own mental health. If you're stuck in a rut, don't stop moving forward. Even if it's just tiny increments of progress, you'll get out of it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is again, I just need to work on everything in this book because like I said before, when I feel like I'm in a rut, like he said, I get in the bed. Okay. Oh, I'm in a rut. And get my heated blanket. I'm sitting here with a heating pad on, y'all. Sorry. But yeah, I be tucked in. Okay. Tucked. That my bed is over there. I'm looking because I want to tuck in right after this. But like I hear what he's saying about like the progress, like, because I think back to season 1 of My Bedroom and how messy and crazy looking it was. And how I was like, oh, I'm gonna just take this little by little, bit by bit. And right now, I mean, I know the rest of my house is crazy, but my bedroom is empty, like literally empty. I'm in there building stuff and DIYing stuff. And if you would have told the Tracy that started this depression nest in 2023 that it would have taken this long. First of all, if you would have told that Tracy that it would take, you would be in 2025 still working on your bedroom, I would have been like, oh, well, that's not worth it. First of all, I'm not going to do it because that's taking too long. Why did it take me so long to do that? No, I was like you know, immediate gratification sort of vibe. But the little by little, the progress has been, you know, good for me. It's been making me see that like I can do it little by little. Little by little does equal up to moving forward. Like it's a small step, but you're still moving. You're not standing still. And so that's two interesting tidbits for me to take. Hold on, some people messaging me about work. Yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. This don't have nothing to do with the book, but I had like a little job interview thing, and I was straight up honest with that man because he reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, we might have an opportunity for you. Let me get on the phone with you." We got on a video call. I told that man, "It is, great to hear about your team, great to hear about everything, but I do not want a job right now." I told that man, I am not trying to work. I don't know what's going on. I told him I might be having a midlife crisis, but I said, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna, make the connection on LinkedIn. But sir, I am not trying to work at nobody's thing. And then he was telling me like, oh, at our agency, like we have this thing called Do You Days, where for so many days out of the year or whatever, you could just do you. Like you could just be like, hey guys, I'm taking a Do You Day, and you could just go off and do whatever you want to do. And I was like, I do that now. I don't have to get approval for a Do You Day. You know what I'm saying? And so it didn't really sell me. And it sounded cool, but you already have to be in a work environment for that to sound like a benefit. It don't sound like a benefit to somebody that's already doing them. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, he was like, yeah, we got 5 do you days. I'm like, every day is a do me day. I didn't say that to him, but um, hey Dorian, I didn't even know you was on here. Okay, yeah, clock back in or whatever. Don't be late. Katie says, oh, Edna be lurking. I'm gonna wear you down. Yeah, that is great culture. Yeah, for sure. Katie says, I don't think it's bad to rest when you feel stuck, but you have to find things that help you get back up again. It seems like you found some of those things with depressionness or decorating, DIYing. Yeah. Katie says, that sounds great to the me 10 years ago. The me now wants every day to have moments just for me. Exactly. And it's like after 15 years in advertising, it's like some of the benefits that they be telling people now, I'm just like, that does not sound great to me. It just does not sound like I'm not in. You're going to have to tell me, like, first of all, they was coming to the office 3 days a week. You already lost me. I don't even know what to wear no more. I ain't been in no office 3 days a week since pre-pandemic. Okay. I don't even know what people do at an office. And then all the other benefits, I'm like, it just is just that's why y'all, I have to just do what Will Packer is talking about. And I have to just focus on this, focus on YouTube, focus on being great. What if I finish my room and my room is so beautiful that it goes viral on all the platforms, and then I get a whole bunch of subscribers and followers everywhere? Mild panic, because when that happens, that brings the pressure. Then I'll be like, oh God, now my next room I gotta stop that. I gotta stop that. Okay, I got one last clip. Okay, Edna B. Larkin, I don't even have office hair. Like, what are people doing in there? It's my last clip. I don't even know what it is.
Don't keep pushing forward despite overwhelming odds. You may not be in a position to take advantage when your limited partner of the Atlanta Falcons opportunity comes knocking. Be ready. There are always going to be bumps and challenges and ups and downs and things you don't account for anytime you take a risk and dream big. You define success for yourself, not somebody else. I've been blessed to accomplish so much of what I set out to do and then some. With NFL ownership.
Okay, he was talking about how him, Dominique Dawes, and one other Black person are now like minority owners in the Atlanta Falcons. And it wasn't even something that was on his like list of things to do, but the opportunity like presented itself. And so he's just started dreaming bigger and taking more risks. And he said that they had to basically interview him down, background checks, asking him why was he liking certain things on social media and stuff like that. And he said, after all of that, those 3 Black people got approved to buy into the Atlanta Falcons and basically become part owner of Atlanta Falcons. So yeah, he was just saying, like, no matter the risk, keep doing you. And something that he said early on is important.
Don't keep pushing forward despite overwhelming odds. You may not be in a position to take advantage when your limited partner of the Atlanta Falcons opportunity comes knocking.
Not that.
Be ready. There are always going to be bumps and challenges and ups and downs and things you don't account for anytime you take a risk and dream big. You define success for yourself, not somebody else.
That you define success for yourself, not somebody else. So you cannot compare your success to somebody else's success. what somebody else deems successful might not even be what you think is successful for you. So you can't compare. You have to just create your own vision, your own version of success, and move accordingly. Take the risks that you need to take and make the moves that you need to make, basically. Let me see. That's why I like taxes. May through December are all due me days. I heard that. Katie said that was supposed to be decluttering. I don't know what kind of autocorrect. Oh yeah, I thought it was decorating, but yeah, decluttering. I know I was spiraling, Katie. See, that would be my nightmare. I don't post because what if I went viral? No, I actually hate going viral. It sucks because it actually, let me caveat. It only sucks when you go viral in general market, meaning white people. White people viral is different than black people viral. If you go black people viral, it's generally cool. I've done both, and it's generally cool. Especially if you go viral in black women, for black women only, like majority black women, is pretty cool actually. Um, General market viral is a whole different thing. People are mean, people are evil, people are racist, people are disgusting. I mean, all of the things. And then, you know, you tend to focus on those things. And I had to really like check myself because I'd be wanting to fight. I'd be like, just where do you live? I will come to you. Meet me outside. Since you big talking, you don't even know me. You don't know who I know. Anyway, I'm over here getting re-mad. But I think I'm going to end there, guys. The book overall, I do recommend. But I will caveat, like I said in the very beginning, I think you should listen to this audiobook. The audiobook is fun. It has sound effects. It has different people coming in and out. Regina Hall was like a little, kind of like a little smart aleck narrator. Like whenever Will Packer would say something, she'll be like, he didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like she'll just come in and like put some little clips in there. She was funny. Will Packer I actually laughed out loud a couple times at some of the stuff Will Packer himself said. Uh, every piece of the production was great. The way that he told the stories, the things that you were hearing, the narration was great. Like I said in the beginning, I listened to it in 1.5 and it sounded normal to me. He has a cadence that it didn't sound crazy when it was sped up. So it sounded very good at 1.5. If you're looking for something that has like actual steps and tells you how to do something, it's not giving that. It's very much giving like slice of life. Um, here's here's some stories. It's a lot of Will Packer stories about how he did what he did to get where he is. And then you have to apply those stories to yourself and see how, you can take those nuggets of wisdom that he has imparted and make them work for yourself. But overall, I give the book 5 stars. It is a New York Times bestseller. I really enjoyed it. HBCU alum. He went to FAMU. And yeah, I recommend the audiobook. This is the one time that y'all will hear me say that I think the audiobook is probably better than the book. I never say that. Never, never, never. But it was just the production value that went into this book, this audiobook. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Great, great, great job. Oh yeah, blah. Oh, one of my exes went to FAMU. What year you graduate? um, but yes. All right, y'all. That's it for me this week. Um, next week. I'm trying to do better, y'all. I'm really trying, but I'm so behind. Like I'm just gonna keep going. Like Will Packer said, we just moving. We're just chugging along. We're making progress. Um, so 93 girl. No, I ain't had no ex that year. I ain't had no ex for that year, girl. God, I wonder what it would have been like to be in college in the 90s. Actually, I was in college in the 90s, but it was the late 90s. Anyway, first of all, Will Packer was there in 93. I think he said he pledged Alpha in 93. Was it 93? Did you know Will Packer? You probably know Will Packer and don't even know it. But anyway, I will see you guys next week for another cleaning video. And I think Thursday will be the last iteration or the last part of the soundproofing series. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, he said he was in the did he said he played trumpet in high school, but I don't know if he did anything in college. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, he was there. Y'all was there at the same time. Um, so I think I'm gonna either open up some more boxes on Monday, or I'll just do like a regular cleaning video. It's so hard to do a cleaning video right now because everything is in such disarray, but I just need to like get rid of stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna be a declutter session or something. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for hopping on the live. If you are watching this as a replay, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I randomly go live in the future. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. See y'all next week. Bye. Thank you, Pla.